Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this week the Texans are going to go on the road to face the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game that's not as typical as previous matchups against the Jaguars. So, I'll get into all that a little bit later on. First, I want to do a quick little recap over week four's matchup against the Chargers. So, right off the bat, man, my thoughts on this is that it was just a comeback that fell short. To me, it kind of borderline garbage yards in a sense. And it's kind of crazy to really say that because the Texans did fall down 27-7 at halftime. And it seems like they were trying to put something together in the third quarter. And then it'll spill into the fourth quarter a little bit. But it just really felt like an empty attempt almost. Like when the Chargers put the game away, it was like it almost felt like it was inevitable that the Chargers was going to do that. Even with the Texans making that huge comeback and coming within three, making the score 27-24 in the fourth. Um, it just felt like, this is bound to happen. And you know what? Can't blame nobody but the team. Once again, another late start. They fell down 21-0. Somebody needs to tell them that, the game starts at noon or whatever. Um, the only probably before I get to the positive, my bad. The offensive line, they stood out to me as not being good. That was a negative that really stood out because this happened early on in the first quarter, and part of that was, yes, they gave up 4 sacks, but it was also the penalties. Tunsil, he had a false start, yeah, early on in the first quarter. Trying to see if I'm missing anything in the second quarter. Not really. Third quarter, yeah. Tunsil had like a. Oh wait, excuse me. Not third. It was fourth. Oh yeah, holding. There it goes. So yeah, holding in the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I mentioned the sacks. That was a crucial sack. I believe when they were trying to go, yeah, while they were while they were trying to stage a comeback. And this was, I believe, this is after the this is on the same play when Mills connected with Collins. Mills gets sacked. And they go 3-and-out, and so they have to kick a field goal instead of actually like trying to attempt to go for a touchdown. So, you know what I'm saying? O line just was not good. The only positive that came out of that was Damian Pierce had his first 100-yard game of his career. Finished the game with 131 yards, including that 75-yard run to give the Texans their first score of the game. So overall, like I said, it was a comeback that fell short. It was empty. Um, they Texans should have started earlier and did all that whatever they did in the third and fourth quarter. They should have done all that first, second, third, and fourth quarter. And we shouldn't. And hey, we shouldn't have lost to a team that apparently had that many injuries to a lot of their star players, and yet we did. So it is what it is. We'll move on to the next one. So, one thing I did want to touch on this week, because I haven't really been touching on too many like topics within a week or whatever, but I can kind of see the growing. You, everybody can see the growing frustration for this team right now, and particularly I kind of see it hovering over Davis Mills and Pep Hamilton. It's the first week they kind of let things slide. It was week one or whatever. Then, week two came and, you saw how the offense was kind of, not really, you know, percolating, if you will. But then also, you see it this week and it's like, things aren't really coming together at the right time. So I just kind of want to like take a stab at it and just kind of, see where would the blame go? You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's when we're four, it's week five. You know what I'm saying? We already played 4 games. We kind of got have an idea of what this team is and what this team isn't. It's a team with no wins. That team that could have had a win, and things of that nature. So I want to start with Davis Mills. For me, um, where Davis Mills takes the blame is he's not showing he's not reaching his potential probably as quick as he should be. Uh, and that's my thing. So, and I got that potential thing. Earlier this week, somebody had posted. I think they showed a clip of one of his passes. I think it was the Collins. I think it was the pass to Collins. And they were talking about, this is the potential of David. This is Davis Mills' potential. And my thing is, I'm tired of those tweets, like big time. Like I've said this on here, like here and there, like probably every week I've said this, but every a day, every other day during the off season, everybody has been throwing around these tweets, posting Davis Mills stats compared to like rookies from last year. So even compared to Mac Jones, you know what I'm saying? So they've been posting this, and I don't know if he's seeing it to get his confidence boosted or if it's something to boost the fans' confidence in him. But they posted them, just to make it seem like, oh, we really got something on our hands. And you know what I'm saying? That's fine if you want to believe that during the off season. However, when it comes to the preseason, you know what I'm saying? We want to see that. When it comes to the regular season, we definitely want to see that. And the issue I have is I did not see that in the preseason. I really didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm expected to be blown away, and maybe it's my fault for listening to that bull crap or what's looking at that bull crap and seeing I'm finna get something else and just what I'm saying, just take it what it is. Because Davis Mills, he started off rough last year and he finished playing good, but now it's a whole new season. Now, what I'm saying, you have a coach, you have a full off season under your belt. So, what I'm saying, you can know this offense a little bit better. So that's my thing with that. Davis Mills, he has the potential. It just hasn't shown out on the field. Um, and we see the potential when they're in these comebacks. You know what I'm saying? Like we see him make the passes to, OJ Howard, we make the passes to Nico Collins, throw the touchdown to Brandon Cooks. We see that. We know what he can do. It's the fact that he isn't doing that consistently. He isn't doing that throughout the game. And so we don't know if that's just an indictment on him as a player or if it is an indictment on Segway Alert, the offensive the offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton. So with Pep Hamilton, it's kind of the same thing. It's it's kind of the same thing, the same similar criticisms I have for him that I have for Davis Mills. They're telling me all these things, and I'm just not seeing it being put out there. You know what I'm saying? So, what Hamilton is like, he's worked with Justin Herbert. He's worked with, Andrew Luck. You know what I'm saying? He has a, pretty good history of working with some pretty great quarterbacks. But when it comes to, what I'm saying, working with Davis Mills, it's like, where's your where's your magic with Luck? Where's your magic with what I'm saying, with Herbert? And you know what? Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not naive to the fact that he's just going to come in and turn Davis Mills into the next, whoever, the next Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, whoever, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, you know what I'm saying, some of that of what you taught in the past has to kind of be instilled into who you're coaching and working with right now. You know what I'm saying? And somehow that has to I feel like that has to translate somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it has to translate into a more consistent manner. But it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And so all we're beating up on Davis Mills, we're beating up on Pep Hamilton, and it's like, what like who's really gonna hold the blame here? And eventually the way it works, the way it always plays out, once one person falls, is gonna double up and fall on the next. So if let's say they don't move forward with Pep Hamilton after the season, then they do move, hypothetically they move forward with Davis Mills. Um, it's going to be on Davis Mills now that we got a new coach in here with a whole different style or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Showing you what to do, how to run thing, or just running things completely differently, and you're not meeting up to the standard. Then now it's on you. Same thing with if it was vice versa. They hypothetically move on from Davis Mills, and they keep Pep Hamilton. So we bring in another quarterback, whether he's first round pick or whether we miss out on a first round pick and go get a bridge quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If that quarterback's not meeting up to the standards, we're gonna turn it around and like look at it on you. Even if what I'm saying, not just the quarterback not living up to the standards, but the offense itself not living up to the standards. They're gonna turn around and look at you for that. So that's how I feel as far as like what the blame goes. I'm not here to really blame one or the other um, because it would I don't know. I feel like both of them can equally share the blame. And what I mean by that is not so much equally, but you can argue that one should be, you know, have more responsibility in this mess than the other. To be honest with you, he is the coach, but what I'm saying, the talent has to go out there and perform. And yeah, he is the talent, but you need a coach to go out there and show you like how to utilize that talent. Where is it most effective at? Because what I'm saying, Davis Mills might not. Everybody wants to. Everybody seems to make it seem like what I'm saying, he's in this gunslinger category, and I don't think that's the case at all. Like he really needs like a lot of weapons around him, and we have some decent ones at the moment, but I think it's up for the coach to kind of point that talent in that direction and help him make the best out of the talent around him. So, but if the coach doesn't feel you can execute at that level, then that's on the player as well. So you can see how I'm tiptoeing, and I'm sorry for that, y'all. But that's I just what I'm saying. A lot of times I see both sides of an argument. And I can see how this can be a both sides type of deal. I mean, push come to shove, they both just might get get kicked out. Both just might get let go from the Texans after the season, depending on how things go. If you're, what I'm saying, if you're being real about it and just start over with a clean slate. So we'll just see how that goes. Couple miscellaneous items. Farrell Brown got cut. Tight end Farrell Brown got cut. Wide receiver Chris Conley got cut. Farrell Brown, a little bit surprising to me. I thought he made a couple of good plays last season. This year in off season, apparently he signed a $3 million guaranteed contract. So apparently he just really wasn't in the plans. And also he was reportedly hurt in his last game. Like quite a few injuries this season, but also in his last game as well. He had missed out. So I guess the Texans just wanted to really just kind of move on. So I think to replace Conley, they they bumped up a wide receiver from the practice squad. I think Davion Davis, last name Davis, something like that. So, but if he is very much so active, he will be on the road trip to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. So like I hinted at earlier, this is a different Jacksonville Jaguars game that the Texans are kind of used to as opposed to like recent years. In the last few years, Texans, they've been down a little bit, so they've relied on this Jacksonville game in a sense to kind of, what I'm saying, just really boost their ego up. Just call it a cheap W, if you will. Hell, last season, the season opener, we beat the Jaguars, led by our quarterback Tyrod Taylor. So it's gonna be interesting in this particular game to yeah, it's gonna be interesting in this particular game to see how they just really come out and react and just what level they're gonna be at as far as like competing with the Jaguars. So that being said, three things Texans got to do to win this game. Um, Play action. So Pierce is establishing himself as a factor. If he's not already there, everybody has lamented that he is the best player on this Texans team right now. Pretty well, at least on this Texans offense. Um, so he is, you know what I'm saying? So he is there. He is that X factor right now. So yeah, the defense, the Jaguars defense, they're seventh ranked, and they're gonna try to stop him. Stopping the run is like their spec is one of the best things that they do right now, if not the best thing that they do right now. So they're gonna be eager to stop him. Why? It's a division rival, and they don't want nothing more than to stop the best the best player on this team, which happens to be a running back. They want nothing more than to take that running game away from the Texans, away from their division rivals offense, and make their quarterback throw, who has looked pretty much sketchy this season. So yeah, they're definitely gonna try and go after Pierce and make Davis Mills throw. And so definitely the Texans should engage in play action. Like for real, for real. I they if they can just take advantage of these defenders, like suck them in uh, with the run, then what I'm saying, that should help get the ball to Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins a little bit better. What I'm saying, last week Nico had at three catches, 82 yards. It was averaging like 27.3, mostly from that one catch that he made in the fourth quarter. So um, it'll be great to that'll be a great way for them to get the ball, at least get some type of rhythm within the game. Because if they got like a half step or so on the defender due to the defender falling for a play action, then yeah, if Davis Mills throws it right accurately, then what I'm saying, they're likely gonna catch the ball. And excuse me, they're likely going to they're likely going to kind of get their hands warmed up or hands in the rhythm for making a whole bunch of catches for the rest of the game. Number two, let's see. Yeah, early start is necessary. So this is something I've probably been preaching each week. As far as like, yeah, each week as far as like what the Texans need to do. Early start early. Get out there, get aggressive, put some points on the board early in the game. There's no reason for the Texans to be waiting around the middle of the second quarter or the top of the third quarter before they finally want to like put a decent drive together and go score a touchdown. They have to get this done early. Jaguars jumped to an early lead last week and they fell down. It's important that we jump to an early lead and we make the Jaguars fall down early. And just keep them down there. You know what I'm saying? Because look, man, this comeback kid stuff, we're not built for that. We're not. We have to learn how to win games like the regular way. It's too like if the team truly believes that this is the group of players, i.e., if this is the quarterback that they want to run with for this offense, then they have to have him win games early and consistently. It has to be throughout. It can't just be 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Now you want to start throwing touchdowns and all that. That's garbage yards. That's borderline garbage yards. Like, get in there, start at the start of the game, get in there, make sure you're going to take the defense's head off. Simple as that. Third and final thing, throw the records out the window. Like, this is, listen, like I said, this is a rivalry. That's one of the quieter rivalries in the NFL, to be honest with you. But it's still a rivalry. It's still competitive. Just throw all that out the window. Play ball. You know what I'm saying? Play hard as you can. And in fact, just play better than them. It's still an early part of the season. They're 2-2 right now, but who's to say this isn't the beginning of a losing streak for them? You know what I'm saying? It can happen. But it's up to the Texans to go out there and just, play like it's another team that's in front of them, like it's 0-0 at the top of the season. Throw those records out the window. Just go in there, play your game, and go get this W. Um, so yeah, Texans want to get a win. They need to embrace play action. Get the ball to, excuse me, yeah, embrace play action. Let it be a way to get the ball to Brandon Cooks and and Nico Collins. Um, why can't I read my own typing? Oh, there we go. Early start is necessary. Start early. Come out the gate swinging. Those comeback plays that you drew up in the third and fourth quarter, draw those up in the first. Come out swinging, and just throw the records out the window. It's not. Listen, this is a game where records don't matter. Jacksonville is 2-2, but you still gotta like play that game. You still gotta go out there and get a win. Don't let your teammates down. Don't let your family down. Don't let your family down. Anyway, listen. Go out there and get a win. You gotta play hard. Simple as that. So Texans do those three things, they will be able to pull off this victory. First one of the year, actually. So with that being said, I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.